Okay, so now we're going to continue and we're going to go ahead and make things a little bit more complicated. So we're going to look at conditional structures. The first conditional structure is just called the if-then or the simple if. And so this is a block of code which can be one or more statements which get run based on some condition. And if the condition is true, we run the code. If the condition is false, then we don't. There's no alternative. So the flowchart for this looks like this. And I think this is a case where flowcharts are really useful. So our program is running. We're going down step by step, running our statements. And we come to a decision point here. And if the decision point is true, then we branch and we run a block of processing statements here, one or more. Then we come on back and continue. And then alternatively, if the condition is false, we don't run the block of statements and we come back to the common continuation point. Okay? The pseudocode for that looks like this. If, here's our conditional statement, this might be something like, uh, number of drinks is less than 2. If response equals Y or response equals N for a yes or a no. And then the statements here, again, this is a code block. You can have one or more statements. And then the end if shows the end of the condition. So these are the statements here with between the if and the end if that correspond to this. They get run when the statement is true. Let's look at another little fragment here in pseudocode. So here again, I've got some code that happens, and then I'm coming down and running the code through top-down execution, and I get to this test, and I have a variable called been here before, and I say if been here before is equal to n, which means no, they haven't been here before, then I'll output welcome to our site, newbie. Otherwise, I won't do anything. I'll just continue with the program. And so this program might then present the user with a menu of games, for instance, to play on our site. So the idea here is there's no else. This is just a single thing. If this is true, we do it and we continue. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and we're going to try another logic program, which we're going to write in Word rather than PowerPoint. And it's going to kind of extend what I just showed you in the little fragment. So the idea is that when the user logs in to the site, we ask if they are new to the site and we show them the newbie greeting. And if not, then we just show them the menu of today's games. And in the event that they are a newbie, they get the newbie greeting and then they get the menu of today's games. So the menu is something we show everybody. It's not part of the if block at all. The only part that's conditional is if they're a newbie, they get the newbie greeting. All right, let me go back to the previous slide and steal my own code here. Whoops, won't let me do that while PowerPoint is running. And so it'll just save me some time typing this up when we get into Word here. All right, Control copy. There we go. That's Control C to copy. All right, let me pop Word open here. So you can see that I copied my simple template, and I'm going to go ahead and paste the code that I just copied from PowerPoint in here real quickly, and then and straighten it up a little bit. And then I want to indent this block here where the if starts. By the way, this should be a lowercase I. That's one of those deals where PowerPoint and Word both want to help you out. That's why we use a programming editor to write our program code and not PowerPoint or Word. Okay, let's give our class a name. So this is, we'll call this newbie query. So are you a newbie? And then basically I'm kind of building the program backwards just to kind of show you how it fits in with the logic, okay? So to get the been here before variable, we want to Son of a bitch, kinda keeps coming up. That's irritating as hell. I'm gonna have to remove that here. It doesn't work on this machine. Uh, so anyhow, I'm gonna basically have to prompt the user to get a response, which is yes or no, which I'll store in the been here before variable. So because I'm storing yes or no as y or n, that's actually a string variable, not a Boolean, as we'll see later on. Okay? All right, so let me go ahead and declare my variable here. 2, 3. Oops, and string is going to be capitalized. So string been here before, and then we're going to have an output. Have you, this is kind of all, kind of hypothetical, right? Because if the user logged in, you would know that they had been before from your records. Now, whenever we do something like this, it's always smart to tell the user what we're expecting. So if we just put n/y like this, it's pretty clear that you're supposed to enter n or y for yes or no. Whoops, let me do that backwards. Yn. Sorry, yes or no. So much for being clear, right? Okay, so now I'm going to input, and the input variable will be the been here before. So input been here before. And now my code is pretty much complete here. Let me go ahead and make it look nice. There we go. Okay, so let's read through this here. I have a variable called been here before. I output my prompt, have you been here before? I input a response. Now the idea is this is going to be a yes or a no. And then I test to see if been here before is equal to no. And if that's the case, then I'll say welcome to our site, newbie. And then I'll continue. And just to show you how this goes, then we might go ahead and do something like this. Display today's menu of games. Okay, now I'm not going to write the code for that. The idea is I'm just trying to show you that we have a block of code. In this case, it's only one statement right here that gets run only if this expression is true, and then the code continues to run the rest. So we go ahead and display the menu. If somebody comes in and they've already been to our site, they don't get the newbie message. They say, yes, I've been here before. And then we don't display the message because this is false. We just display today's menu of games. Okay? Now, just to notice, here's something. This looks to see if the user says no to indicate that they've not been here. And any other response would also get read as no. So if they put Z or B or T because they weren't following the directions, we're not checking for that. So really we're just checking for the one value that will trigger this newbie message, which is for them to say, no, haven't been here before. Okay? All right. So again, this is a simple logic program, and in this case there's sort of some stuff that's not shown. It's kind of out of a context, but I think that should help you to understand how the if structure works. Okay, now we can extend this to show the next structure. So I'm going to go ahead and do this same program again here in a minute and show the entire if then else structure. Okay, all right, let me save this and end this video, and I'll start another up here.